while we awkwardly all hang out in the Zoom space. Okay, hello everybody in my Zoom room and in TV land. Um, we're going to do a bit of everything class today, and we will start with breathing. Um, I've been doing these embodiment PSAs on, I'll tell you in a second. Inhale, open. Just breathe into your body on Instagram and Facebook. So, like every day, pretty much, I put out like a little snippet of embodiment information, something to think about that has to do with feeling into your body or breath work or somatic practice. And somebody said to me, "Oh, Laura, you're always so positive." And I was like, "Yeah, because that's what I post on social media. I'm actually not always so positive. I've certainly got a huge dark side as well. And that comes out more in my art." So shaking out some of the crap that's hanging out in your body and letting it go. Ah, tuning in. Just letting your body feel the ground underneath your feet. So I used to have a teacher, Ellen Goldman. She was one of my teachers at the Laban Institute, and she always started class with this bounce. And I realized how much that bounce was really just about coming into the ground, coming into the vertical dimension, feeling yourself present on the earth. So when we bounce like this, we can feel our weight going down. And then there's a little rebound. Like we don't just drop and stay. There is some spring in our bodies. Even though it might feel like we're doing all the spring, there is this ground force coming up. So just tuning into that feeling of the ground underneath your feet. That while it may feel sometimes like it has been pulled out from underneath our feet, there is indeed actual solid earth underneath our feet. So from that, let's go into some circles, feeling into the feet. I'm going to come off of my, I'm just going to come forward here. So circling around so you can see how much my foot is moving. Feeling the ground underneath your feet. And then change direction. So the circling, while it may look like my knees are making the circle, and they kind of are, my knees are just bending and extending. All the roundness of the circling is coming from the bones and muscles of my feet and also from my hip socket. Then we're going to take it down, and you're going to do them a little closer together. Just a little bit different circle. Nice little conversation happening with my floor. The ground under my feet speaks to me. Good. And then let's come back into, let's do our standing arch and curl. So arching and opening and internally rotate, hollow and curl. Head and tail back, open the front of your body. Head and tail forward. Inhale, open, exhale, curl and round. Inhale, open, exhale, spiraling in, spiraling open. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And one more thing, let's do bend, straighten, press up, come down. Plie, stretch, push, and lower. Plie, stretch. Try to press straight up so your ankles aren't popping out or going in, but you have this straight alignment down from your hips through your knees to the ball of your foot out through your toes. Bend and straighten and press. Lower, waking up the lower leg and straighten, press. Lower, bend and straighten, press. I mean, I know I have been talking about the high heels thing in here sometimes, but also feeling the ground under our feet, feeling grounded and supported when we're in connection to the earth with our feet, like we have more stability, right? It's interesting that like people, women in power are still wearing high heels. I got to talk about that, like teetering around up here, right? Anyway, I'm just going to keep talking about it because it's a thing. And I do understand that when we put on high heels, we get taller. So there is some power in height in our culture. But I don't know. I keep talking about it. I really want to see a leader, a lady, wearing some like combat boots or some sensible shoes. Like, come on. Why do we got to wear this like bullshit? Unless we want to. And if we want to, fine. But it's more of like, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about that now. Let's spiral, twisting from side to side, looking behind you. Yeah, starting with the foundation, right? Our feet are the foundation, connecting us to the ground. And then we build our way up. And when I say the foundation, they're the foundation of us feeling grounded. They're the foundation of feeling connected to the earth. I don't mean if they're the foundation of our whole body. Let's open it out. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Contralateral pattern. Very good for our nervous system. Taking it to the back, touching in the back. Mobilizing our bodies in space, moving through space, taking up space. Big weight shift, throwing our weight around. Just talking how the language and how embodiment connect. Oh, that one really throws her weight around. Let's throw our weight around. Good. And then we're going to come in, free up the pelvis. Big circle. Stick out your butt in the back. Pubic bone reaches forward. Let your abdominals mobilize. Let your belly move. So when we breathe, we're breathing deep down into our guts. Our diaphragm is descending down, pushing into the organs, giving ourselves more life energy, more chi, more prana. Change direction, right? If we're sucking in all that stuff and breathing high in our lungs, we're getting less oxygen in our body, less health. I mean, what could be more oppressive than wearing a corset? Let's circle, figure 8. And change direction. Infinity in the pelvis. So you can feel as you're circling around, feel your foot connected to the floor as you're moving your pelvis. What's happening with your feet? Spread out your toes. It's not just women, also. I know that men squish their feet into shoes that are uncomfortable and whatnot, wear them. Business attire, wearing a tie around your neck, right? Let's put something around your throat and tighten it up. Take it down, shift from side to side. And let's wear a 3-piece suit in 90-degree weather. In my world, everyone's wearing a muumuu. Just kidding. Or a bikini, or nothing at all. And then come in, roll it all the way up. And let's come to sit down. We haven't done this one in a while. Sitting down in a cross-legged position. I've got to give you the kitty cam. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but oh, he's like white. You can see his tail, but Squeaky Deaky is hanging there in the middle of the window looking out. And like the window's only slightly cracked, and he's reaching his hand out, trying to touch. I should open it a little bit. Well, he can survive. He can survive. He's very interested in the rain happening outside, but he could be on the back porch where it's completely open. He could see everything. Side stretch. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, over. Inhale, open. Exhale, sideways. Inhale, exhale. Feeling the connection from your fingertips through your arm into your scapula, on your back, into your body. Right? Arms, wings of the heart, wings of the lungs, wings of the back. And then we're going to circle the whole way around. Sideways, take it forward, all the way around, and inhale, open it up. Sideways and forward and around and open. Side stretch, forward and around and lift. Side stretch. Let your head release and stretch it up and change legs. So non-dominant leg comes in front, whichever one that is. And let's just change the exercise slightly, taking it down, shifting from side to side. Yeah, I still have this knee stuff going on, which is like, it's okay, but it's definitely not happy. But I think this knee stuff came from an ankle injury that happened when I was hiking with my brother in Vancouver. And I was like, I was up a mountain. I had to come all the way down. So I was like, I am not going to feel this injury. I'm going to be fine. And I powered through. And then when I went home, I did a whole lot of body work, a whole lot of stuff on my ankle. But then I went dancing the next night with my brother. Are there people in your life that can get you to do things that might not be in your best interest? Circle the whole way around. And yet at the same time, in terms of the whole system, I had to do all the things that I did. Inhale, open, sideways and forward, and sideways and open, sideways and forward. And so with my knee, it just took like about 3 weeks to show up when I came home. It's like, oh, you did something. And I can feel the whole relationship down into my ankle. Yeah, and even into my hip a little bit, but really it's coming from down here, but it's showing up here. So sometimes when we're injured, it's coming from somewhere else. Shift from side to side, or the injury somewhere else has put a new tension and stress pattern in another part of your body. Circling, letting this massage out your butt, letting this massage out your glutes. If you're ready to go down to the floor, go for it. Feel free to reach up, paint the rainbow with your hands. It is pride. After all, we might as well get into our rainbow painting. Reaching away from center and then surrendering into the floor. So there's this real energy of radiating outward, away from center. And then coming back down and in and letting go. Reaching it out, opening, and then softening and melting. Last one. And then let's take it all the way down to the floor. Let's try this diagonal on the carpet today and see how the sounds of the floor are going to go with that. So we're going to do these knee drops to start out, and we're going to do two different kinds. So one knee drop is open and close, like opening all the way as relaxed and easy as possible. Open, and close, close. Let your guts be soft. So breathe deep. Ideally in through your nose. You can exhale through your mouth or through your nose. Either way is fine. Let this just be easy and loose, massaging through your hips again. Then we're going to change the version. So instead of letting it go open, and close, we're going to come up, feel both feet on the floor, feel your heels and your sit bones in alignment. So there's this line from your toes, through your ankles, through your knees, through your hips, like you have two parallel tracks through your body and they're in alignment. Nothing's kind of wonkling out or being weird. Just feeling into that. And then from there, you're going to let both knees kind of fall down to the side, really relaxed. So your feet are separate and your pelvis is kind of open. And then from here, we're going to initiate. It's almost like your tailbone is reaching into the floor behind you. So I'm going to kind of leave my knees off to the side. My tailbone initiates and spreads my pelvis, and that movement then brings my knees up. So one knee drops, the other knee drops, or they both drop together. And then the pelvis, my sacrum, my tailbone come in, and the knees follow. So initiating leg drop, and then really trying to initiate with this movement in your core it's not a contracted work. It's like easy as possible. Just moving the bones and then the legs follow, right? Drop, easy work. So we're not driving the car with the brakes on. Like we're not operating at ultimate capacity like we are acting in Star Trek with Captain Kirk. I must do it like this. It's like, it's as easy as possible. It's as smooth as silk. It's more like, oh, this is so natural for me. I don't have to do anything. Let's say like Meryl Streep acting, although she works hard, but she makes it look effortless. Drop, bring it in. Do you like my references from like the 70s and the 80s? Bring it back in. I don't know when Star Trek started, when it first aired. I don't know how long that first season or that first iteration lasted. I feel like it lasted for a long time. All right, and let's come in. Sorry for the Star Trek lecture, but it really is like a good, I don't know, a good analogy for how hard you're working. All right, let's flex our feet, reach, and just move your one leg longer than the other. Let your body kind of free up inside so you're not all constipated and constricted, but there's some freedom. And then we're going to exhale, look towards your feet, hands sweeping down, and then inhale, open it up. Exhaling down and inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, inhale, open. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Change direction, arms come overhead. Exhale up, in through your nose. Exhale up, inhale, open. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Yeah, I feel like this part of the floor maybe is just as noisy as any other part of the floor. And then come in and dig your heels into the floor, take a heel rock. So in the heel rock now, we want to let our whole body slosh and surge. So let the whole inner body release. Head and neck are going to bobble up and down. Rib cage, lungs, and heart. Thinking of the whole inner body as like the ocean. And there's fluidity and movement through the ocean. Relax your neck and jaw. Relax your face. Relax your eyeballs. Relax your tongue. Droopy talk. Everything's just okay when you really relax your tongue. Yeah, like if you can relax in your face and in your head like that, other things will just naturally relax. And we're going to do something else that I've discovered that I find really amazing. You can stay lying down. I'm just going to set up to show you. And it might not be amazing for you. And this is just a little somatic exercise where I take my fingers kind of like this, put them in right, if I'm going right between my boobs, right in the middle. And like that's sort of the bottom of my rib cage where my xiphoid process is, and just above that. So it's like this would be the place right in the middle, right? Right across. And I'm just going to take my fingers in there and I'm going to lay back down now that I've shown you where it is. So laying down, fingers in, and I'm not pushing in so that it's uncomfortable, but I want to kind of think of feeling in as if I'm feeling into everything that's behind my fingers. So feeling into the system of my body. And so what's coming down through here and deeper in though, like our vagus nerve is coming in from behind our head, like back here, there's two little holes. It's coming down behind our ears. And it's working with our heart rate, our breath, our digestion. So having our fingers in here in the middle, and there's two, right? We have one on each side of our body. The wandering nerve, the 10th cranial nerve, it's coming from our head down. It's helping regulate digestion, heartbeat, and breath. And so here we can kind of imagine into, we're sort of in the middle between our heart and lungs, but maybe just a little lower. So there's a little diaphragm action in there. And just feeling into yourself there. If it feels good, you can do some micro movement underneath that with your torso. Thinking of it almost like I'm touching into home base and I am just offering myself some relief, right? Coming into my own heart, into my own breath. It can be really small. It doesn't have to be a big deal. And it might be like, what? I'm touching myself. I don't feel anything. So give yourself time to build that relationship. I don't mean that has to happen right now, but try it again, maybe later in the day, tomorrow, the next day, coming in where you're just touching into this and just see how it lands for you. Okay, we can let that go. Let's exercise some more. So that's like more of a somatic practice where we're coming in, we're inviting the vagus nerve to downregulate us a little bit. We're inviting our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest, soothe and settle, to come online in a really healthy, calming way, right? When we're getting too amped up because the world is a crazy place and our lives are crazy. Hey, come here, you. Oh, he's not going to come in. All right, let's do legs together and just reach out and up And we're going to inhale right back down. Exhale up, no pulsing, and inhale. Opening up that front of the sternum, exhale. Inhale. Very gentle, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Taking your hands behind your head, you're going to exhale up, flex your feet, turn them out, bend your knees, push it out, point your toes, bring it in, touch it down. Legs go up, flex, rotate out, bend your knees, reach it up, point, turn it in, fold, lower down, up, flex, rotate out, bend your knees, push it out, point your toes, bring it in, touch down, up, flex, turn it out, bend your knees, reach it out, in, point, two more, up, flex, out, plie, push, in, point, down, last one, up, flex, out, plie, push, in, point, and down, and lower, and relax. Wiggle your whole torso, free it up again. So we just worked really hard in there. Now soften all of that tissue so that you have life energy moving through. Like when we build strength, we don't want to start getting harder and more restricted. We want to have strength that we have access to. And we also want to have tremendous freedom and ease in our guts, in our organs. So shake it out. Maybe a big yawn. At least opening your mouth wide, seeing if that affects. Sometimes my ears pop. Yawning or not yawning. Shake everything out. Shake, shake, shake. Maximal vitality in your body. The problem with maximal vitality is then you actually feel everything. Hands down by your sides, legs up to the ceiling. Open it out and take it down. So circles as big or small as you want. Let's go with pointed feet for 4 or 5, and then we'll go flexed after that. Instead of changing them, let's keep those legs long, and then go for the flex. Head can either stay on the floor or come up and down or stay up, whatever feels good to you. I'm always a fan of doing a variety pack of things with my head as I'm moving my body, listening into what feels best to me. 2 more. Reach it out, long legs. Last one, try and spread out your toes. And then shake it out again. Let's just do easy, loose knee drops. Either kind. I feel like this kind with the opening and closing is a more relaxed version. But sometimes we need to have that other version where we're just tuning into our whole head-tail connection, the whole up-downness of our body as we bring the pelvis back. So either one. And they do different things. They release your hips also in different ways. Like that pull is going to give some shear along your butt. But this way, we're rolling through. So both of those things, like here's the shear, I am pulling. So the whole belly of my muscle inside when I do this version is moving against the bone, right? That's shear, where it goes like that. Rolling is going to go like this. It's going to do something different. Both of them are great. We need both. All right, let's bring it in and let's get our pelvises up in the air. Hands down by your side. Press your pelvis up. Let's just roll down vertebra by vertebra, taking as long as you want to get to the bottom. So slow roll. Maybe it's a couple of breaths. Once you hit the bottom and you've finished your roll, arch your back so that your waist is coming off, but your butt's still on the floor. So you're arching, and then you're going to go through the flat back and curl and roll it back up. When you hit the top, slowly descend back down, trying to articulate through the rib cage and lungs, as well as all the way down into your tailbone. Get the arch on the bottom when you're down there, and then curl and roll it back up. Feel your breathing pattern. Pay attention, tune into your breath. A few more times, just going in your own tempo. Let yourself soften your belly too. Like when you're at the bottom, don't be all constricted in the front of your body. Let that soften so you can really arch and open it up. Then when you go for the roll up, you may be working more, but don't work so hard that it's like this constricted, constipated, like rigidity. We don't need to build more rigidity. Whenever you're ready, bring it back up, and we're going to do a little pull, push backwards and forwards. Just a small push and pull, a little rock. As you're rocking, see if you can allow some of the tension in your shoulders to melt away. So back of the body's working, but up here, we could be getting a little massage through our upper traps. Also feeling the hamstrings and quads balance as you're doing this push-pull with your feet. And then slowly release it down, all the way down. And let's take a happy baby. Breathing into your baby. Free flow in the baby. Letting yourself stretch anything that needs to be stretched. Listening into your own body. And then let's take the right leg up to the ceiling or the left leg, either one. Circle your ankle. Circle, circle, circle. Trying to lengthen out your whole leg. If possible, your knee is straight, your quad is engaged, and then change direction. And then bring it in. You're going to flex through your toes, through your heel, demi-point and point. Toes, heel, toes, point, toes, heel, toes, point, toes, heel, toes, point. Rotate your leg out from the hip socket, same thing. Toes, heel, toes, point, toes, heel, toes, point. Try to keep your knee straight so you're working your quad, lengthening out that whole leg, and bring it in and shake it, shake it, shake it, let it go. Hit your calf, give a little bang. Let's do the quick cuff, making a cuff with your hand, and then you're going to pull the tissue away from your foot. So it's really, if it feels really pulley and kind of like almost like there's a knife in there, that is your fascia going, oh, you want me to open up a little bit. Change direction, recuff if you need to. And the fascia is all the stuff that's holding the form of your body. Release it, let it go. I'm going to do one more foot exercise. I'm just going to show you like this. So you're going to squeeze, and then you're going to spread out your toes, in and out. So foot squeezes in, and then wing, spread out your toes. Foot going in, wing, and spread out your toes. Foot in, wing, and spread. So there is a little bit of movement in my hip, but not a lot. It's mostly in my foot, in and out and in and out, and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Yeah, so I talked to a friend who's another anatomy person, an anatomist, Lissa Mahalik, and she thinks that it's the talus bone being jammed, kind of, and like creating more space in there is what's doing this thing. And I think she's right, because I feel like that is what happened when I was on that walk, on that hike. Let's go with the other leg. So other leg goes up, we circle the ankle, circling the foot, and change direction. Trying to straighten that leg all the way. It can be lower, so you're straight, but reach it out so you're engaging that quad, working your thigh. Shake it out, let it go. Release, release. And then pointed toes, long straight leg, flexing through the toes, heel, toes, point. Toes, heel, toes, point. Toes, heel, toes, point. Toes, heel, toes, point. Rotate out from the hip socket. Toes, heel, toes, point. Toes, heel, like you're peeling a banana. toes, heel, toes, point, toes, heel, toes, point. Bring it in, shake it out. Make the cuff pull on the tissue, grabbing and pulling away. If you have a lot of like moisturizer on and your hands are just sliding, you're not going to quite get the same stretch. So get in there, circle it one way. Whenever you're ready, circle it the other way, pulling away. And I have to say, my two ankles feel so different. Anyway, shake it, shake it, shake it. Then you're making the little fist, squeezing your toes in, and then spreading your toes out. Fist in, wing it out. In, out. This one doesn't matter so much if your leg is straight, although if you can straighten it, go for it. Out, in, out, in, out, and in, and shake it out. So all those muscles that we're working when we're doing those circles, when we're doing those articulations, those in and out, those things are what are helping you balance when you're standing, right? Those muscles are also helping keep your knees healthy, keep your hips healthy, because your foot should be taking a lot of the mobility needs when you're walking. It shouldn't be coming into your knees so much, which is one reason why wearing shoes, and especially wearing restrictive tight shoes, can really mess up your knees or your hips. So our feet were made to be like little hands walking around, feeling what's underneath and adjusting to surfaces. But now we live predominantly on flat surfaces. We walk on flat surfaces. Our houses are flat. So our feet aren't moving in the way that the tissue would get all that chance to adjust. So our bodies get a little more stagnant because we're always in these that's why we want to do all that extra movement. Well, that's one reason why. All right, I'm not in love with that last diagonal, so I'm shifting my mat again. Let's take it onto our hands and knees, curling your toes under in the back. So again, we're working a lot with the feet today. Feeling grounded, waking up those feet. You're going to take your butt back, arch, chest open, stick out your butt, and then you're going to come forward over the top of your foot, round your spine, and take your weight back there. Coming forward, curl your toes under, stick out your butt. Reach your sit bones to your heels. So sit bones are reaching back. Arch and open. Coming forward, head drops down, tail drops down, curl your toe, round your spine, take it back. And coming up, curl your toes under, arch, take it back, open, over the tops of the foot, curl, round your spine. Moving it forward, toes curl under, take it back, forward, toes go the other way, and round. Last one. This time, from this position, we're going to push into the feet, take it up to a downward dog, bend one knee, then the other, stretching out your calf and Achilles. And then let's reach both heels up and both heels down. Just pressing up and heels down, press it up, bring it down, press it up, bring it down. Roll it forward into a plank, slowly lowering down in your plank in 10 counts. Going down 10, 9. If you need to put your knees down, do it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming in for a landing. Let's take the arms and legs up off the floor. We're going to take the hands back, spiraling open, and then the hands spiral, palms up. Hands spiral up, palms up. So there could be a little bit of a rock here. You don't have to. I could really do it. Oh, but you can also make it small. I don't know. Not in love with that, but at the same time, I feel like there is some value. Relax, let it go. Wag your tail, soften your spine. Bend your knees and let your legs fall from side to side. So really relax. Feet are relaxed, quads are relaxed, butt is relaxed, hips are relaxed. Breathing. And then curl your toes under. You can put your head on your hands, just pushing up and down. My knees are relaxed on the floor. So I'm sending this ripple of movement through my tissue from my heels up through my head, relaxing the rest of my body as much as possible. Easy and loose, letting go inside. Adding humming and sighs whenever you want. We've really been inhibited about making noise, like we're trained to be quiet and not make any kind of human adjustment sound. So feel free to make them. We're going to come up and do regular old Pilates swimming, but with a pumping breath. So a big sniff through your nose. You're trying to huff and puff so that your diaphragm is really working. Off we go. Inhale the whole thing up, radiate it out and float it around like you're flying. How does it feel to fly? Take your hands next to your chest, arch all the way up, open. If it feels good to turn a little bit from side to side there, go ahead. Try not to be totally dropped into your shoulders, but push down and through. And then you can release it back down. Going up with your breath, inhale, open, and exhale, taking it down. Peapod. Good. Take it back into a child's pose and soften and melt. The cats come in here to see if anything exciting has happened, and I try and lure them in so that they can entertain you. And they don't want to come in. They're like, yeah, you're just doing your thing. Come here. Come here. All right, let's do backstroke with the arms. So you're going to swim through the space, open it up, and come back down. Swimming on the other side, opening it up and down. If it's possible, look at your hand as it's going around. And then change direction, front stroke. Feeling your humerus, your upper arm bone, mobilizing in a very circular manner inside that ball and socket joint of your rotator cuff. And then let's come in and we're going to open the hands wider, big circles, down to the floor and up. Let your head do whatever it wants to do. Free up your spine, mobilizing, hands wide, chest, lungs, heart, wings of the back, wings of the heart. Those are your arms. Change direction, other way. And then come in and let's take our legs out in front of us and have a little walk from side to side with your butts. You can let your head release down if that feels good. And you can also bend your knees here. So if you're tighter and your hamstrings are really tight, just do it with bent knees. You can kind of lengthen one leg, lengthen the other. If you're more open, go ahead and get down there, mobilizing that tissue. Freeing up your spine, freeing up your pelvis, breathing deep into your body. And then come up and let's do something on our sides. Let's go into a side forearm plank. Let's actually not do a total side forearm plank. You're going to be on one knee and on your elbow. So you're going to be here. And you're going to lift the other arm and leg off the floor. Exhale, close. Inhale, reaching into the back space. Exhale, forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, forward. Arch back. Exhale, curl. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, arch. Two more. Exhale. Inhale, last one. Exhale. Open it up and come onto the other side. Yeah, I think with our bodies, what I was thinking about as I was like being kind of quiet there was our bodies take time to adjust and to change, right? Things do not happen super fast in our bodies. And if it does happen super fast, it's either like a rip, a tear, an injury, something like that. So like our tissue needs time to shift and change. So if you're tighter, give it time, spend time in there, soften into the relaxing and letting go part. Like you can't force into being more relaxed, right? That's not that's the exact opposite thing. You have to have spaciousness in there, let it go, right? You can't force a person to relax. Like telling somebody, relax, it's like they're going to do the opposite. Unless it's like, relax. And then they might get really annoyed. So, listening into your body, give it time, give it space. Like the parasympathetic is a different place than the active, let's do. It's the, I'm going to come in. And in the way that we're working in this class, we're kind of working between those two places. I mean, we're going back and forth. Stretch it out, bring it in. Inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Use your breath. Arch back, hollow, open up, curl it in, reach it out, curl it in, reach it out, curl it in, reach and in, and last one, out and in, and coming up. Yeah, so our sympathetic, these are the two sides of your autonomic nervous system, which technically, like people used to think the autonomic, it's the part that's just doing its own thing. We have no control over it. But actually, we have tons of control over it. We can slow down our breathing. We can calm our bodies. We can come into a more digesting place. Or we can be, I'm activated and I'm doing things. If we're always activated, our body doesn't get to process well. We don't digest well. We don't sleep well, right? And we live in a highly activated culture. Like every little ping on your phone, whether you notice it or not, is activating your nervous system. So we live in this very like, oh my God, like this is built so that when the saber-toothed tiger is chasing us, we run, right? That, go, or we freeze, or we do whatever we need to do in the sympathetic. Side stretch. Inhale up. So when we move with more awareness and more presence, we're inviting in a more balance in that system, more balance so we can go, oh, I need to down-regulate a little bit. When we do coherent breathing, which is inhaling and exhaling for the same amount of time, we start to balance those two systems, right? Because vagus nerve, I'm just giving you a huge lesson. And if you take it in, it's fine. If you just want to exercise, don't bother listening. It's totally fine also. But the vagus nerve is it's a dominant part of our parasympathetic. And it's the one that's working with our digestion, our heartbeat, our circulatory system, and it's regulating that. So coherent breathing means those systems are working together. So when I come into that balance, I started my day with 15 minutes of coherent breathing, and there are apps on your phone. Inhale for 6 counts, exhale for 6 counts. Inhale for 6 counts, exhale for 6 counts. And as I'm doing that, I'm just softening into my body, right? Getting easier inside. Keep going. And let's add to this. So we're going to take it to the side. We're going to reach it out. We're going to come back in and come up to the side, reach it out, bring it in and up, side, reach it out, bring it in and up, side, reach it out, reach it in and up, side, reach it out, reach it in and up, side, reach it out, reach it in and up, side, reach it out, reach it in and up. Last one, side, reach it out, reach it in and come up and bring it in. That little cat harasses everyone in the house, so I had to harass him a little bit. He's so funny. He's so hilarious. He's such an instigator. And he also, like, nothing really, phases him. It's all fine. Like, the big guy can wrestle him and chase him around, and then he'll come back and whack at him. Like, he's not daunted in any way. He's not bothered. All right, let's take our legs underneath us. We're gonna take our knees toward the floor and then heels towards the floor, just moving forward and backward. If you can touch down, great. If you can't, that's okay. Good. Bringing it in, coming up, shifting from side to side, easy and loose. So starting to notice into your nervous system. Am I amplified? Am I upregulating? Am I calming down? Am I downregulating? This whole world needs a lot of downregulation right now. But that doesn't mean don't do anything. We can be gentle in our activated states. Coming up, just doing a little bit more breathing. Inhale, open. Exhale, let's open our feet wide. I want to have our feet still in the video. Open your feet wide. Inhale up. You can turn your toes in, and you're going to take it down here with the toes turned in. So all that tissue is getting this internal rotation, which you should feel a little bit in your peroneals. You may feel, I don't know, if your peroneals are tight like mine, you will feel it here. If you don't, you can try bending your knees a little bit there. Breathing into it. So we're just getting that whole outer band of fascia to have some internal rotation, bending and stretching. And then come in, parallel your feet and just shift from side to side, let it go. Let your head go, let your spine release. And then come in and slowly roll it up, bring it all the way up, circling your shoulders, using your breath. And change direction, up and over the top. Yeah, I'm going to do I think this afternoon in the somatic inquiry class, I'm going to do a whole thing just on the vagus nerve. Just trying to bring it in. Let's do one side and then the other. So shift your weight, shoulders back, mobilizing your torso, right? We're mobilizing our whole core when we do this. Up and over. Core support is a healthy vagus nerve where our organs that are in our torso are working together, right? That's the core of our body. That's also foundational. Let's do pelvis forward and then stick out your butt, reach it behind you. Pelvis forward, stick it out, reach it back. Pelvis forward, stick it out. Pelvis forward, stick it out, right? We got to have freedom in the pelvis, right? Let it go. And I think so many people are really trained, don't let your butt stick out, don't do anything. Let's just let our butt stick out for a minute. Reach it out behind you. It's healthy for your spine to have access to this front space, access to the back space. Come in, just shake it all out. Get that bounce, feel the ground under your feet. There is ground under our feet. We belong on the planet. It is our birthright to be here. We can have dignity and respect for our own bodies, which will then help other people have dignity and respect for our bodies. Inhale, open. Exhale, shake, 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 let it go. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. All right, I'm going to end the live stream. People out there, oh my God, there's actually people watching. Amazing. Nice to see that. And feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to end that. It takes me a minute.